Hello everyone and welcome back to Brian's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail, and today's case is very recent. This was just reported in the news. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this because we've been talking about it through some of the comments, and this is regarding the whereabouts of Gabby Petito. Gabrielle is her full name, but she goes by Gabby. And I just want to remind everybody that the burden of guilt in this country is based on proof and evidence, so I'm just going to give you guys the facts, what we know right now, some background information, because her family is desperate for answers, and I would be too. I mean, this is very, very bizarre case. So Gabby is 22 years old. She's got blonde hair, blue eyes. She's roughly 5'5", and she is from Northport, Florida. And she and her boyfriend were taking a trip. They drove from Northport to New York around the beginning of July, and what they had done was they had bought a camper, or a van, and they had converted that van, which is pictured here. This is the actual van. They converted this into a camper, and apparently they had both worked on it prior to going on their trip. They were, this is what the inside looks like. So they outfitted it with a bed, a little mini kitchen, storage area. Yeah, it looks pretty cozy. On July 2nd, they left New York and headed west towards Colorado, where they explored the various parks there, Rocky Mountain and various, mountainous areas, and then they went down to Utah. Now, one of the very interesting and different aspects of this case is that this whole trip was very well documented on social media. In fact, you can still go and look at Gabby's Instagram. She also has a YouTube channel. I'll have links to whatever I can in the description, but she documented all of this with both pictures and pictures of her and her boyfriend, videos as well. So they spent several weeks in Utah visiting the Mystic Hot Springs, Canyonland National Park, Arches National Park, and Zion National Park. In one of her posts, she quotes, "We walked just a little past the arch where the rock is at such an angle it appears impossible to walk on. But being such experienced hikers, she had confidence that I could make it." The post read in part, "Many people who spotted us were contemplating how we made it up there, shouting things like, 'Wow, you guys must be crazy.'" So at this point, it seemed like they were having fun and just enjoying their time going through these parks, and they are amazing parks. So if it's your first time, they are exhilarating. Now, this is a brief map of their itinerary and their spots, and we're going to cover this, and I'll put this map up again so you can see. So after spending weeks in the Utah area, or the south of Utah, they headed north to Salt Lake City. Now, this is where it seems like trouble started, because she was last seen checking out of a hotel in Salt Lake City on August 24th. That was the last time anyone actually physically saw her. Now, on the 25th, her mom said that she got a text and a call from her, and Gabby said that they were on their way to Wyoming and on their way to Yellowstone and Grand Tetons. Unfortunately, a little over 2 months after starting this trip, on September 11th, Gabby's mom reported her missing, because she said that she did talk to her on August 25th. However, Gabby was very, very good at communicating. She said that her daughter calls her mother 3 to 4 times every week, and she hadn't heard from her since the 25th. Her mother also states that she isn't even sure if the text that she got from her daughter on the 25th was in fact Gabby sending that text. Gabby is considered to be a free spirit. She's just very friendly, outgoing. She has this tattoo of "Let It Be" on her arm. She has a tattoo of a butterfly on her other arm. And this is where things got even weirder, because the police started investigating this, and they found the van at her boyfriend's home, Brian Lundery. And apparently he's been very reluctant to cooperate. I think from what I understand in these reports, he got a lawyer right away, and the police did seize the van, and they are processing it for forensic evidence, fingerprints, any evidentiary value that they think might be helpful. They're continuing to try and piece things together, but it's just a very odd situation. Like, they were taking this trip together, and then all of a sudden the van is back at the home of the boyfriend, thousands of miles away, and without Gabby. I mean, these two hadn't just gotten together. They had attended high school together, And then later in life, they rekindled their relationship, and apparently they had been living in Florida together for 2.5 years. So I just find, even if he didn't do anything, I find his actions very suspicious. I mean, if you've been on this trip with, the love of your life and your girlfriend, and you guys had planned this and somehow you got separated, I mean, the first thing you do is let her parents know, contact the authorities. I mean, why would you just drive home and park the van and not say anything? Because really this didn't come about until the mom reported Gabby missing, and then the police went over to his house, obviously, and that's where they found the van, which is a white 2012 Ford Transit with a license plate QFTG03. So if anyone saw them or saw that van and has any information, I'll have more information on who to call later on and in the description. But apparently these two were engaged. Now, the family wouldn't confirm or deny that they were engaged, but in many reports that I read, they were engaged or are engaged. So I don't know. It's just very bizarre, this whole case. I just don't understand how you can be on this, awesome trip where you're exploring, and then all of a sudden one of them is just not there. This is the last picture that she posted of herself. And here again, this, in my opinion, raises red flags, because she was posting a lot about this trip, posting pictures, videos, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. Now, of course, since this has crossed state lines, both the Sarasota police, the FBI, and other agencies are involved in this investigation, because it's basically a nationwide investigation. They started out in Florida, then went to New York, Colorado, Utah, and it's really impossible to say when they split up unless the boyfriend starts talking. And I also find that bizarre that he won't say anything to the police. I mean, you'd think that someone that's a loved one that cares about you would want to, help find the person. And I'm not here to point fingers or anything, but personally, I just find that very bizarre. And the way I understand it, he hasn't been talking since the beginning. I mean, he lawyered up right away, and I mean, who knows? I know that, sometimes parents can be very protective. Maybe it's his parents that are doing this and keeping him from talking, but I don't know. If it was me, I would find a way. I just don't understand this at all. And I mean, can you imagine what Gabby's parents are going through? I saw a news report with them, and they're just so devastated, and I just can't imagine. I mean, here your daughter goes off for this trip of a lifetime and it turns into, a nightmare. I'm just hoping that, maybe they just got into an argument and she's off somewhere. But again, there's just so many things that aren't adding up. The police are doing everything they can to try and figure this out. They do have the car in Northport, and they're actively gathering all the details and evidence they can and processing it and interviewing as many people as they can that will talk. Authorities are asking if you do have any information about this case to please contact the police at 941-429-7382 or contact your local FBI office. Obviously, the family is desperate for answers, and they're asking for the public's help to please share her flyer, and please keep your eyes open. And if anybody has any information, to please get in touch with the proper authorities. And my thoughts and prayers go out to this family, and I'm just praying that they can find Gabby, and that she is just out there maybe on her own and decided to do her own thing. And I also hope that her boyfriend will start talking to the police and cooperating. I will have links in the description with Gabby's missing flyer, and the Aware Foundation here in Virginia has already posted one and made a great flyer for her. I'll have a link to that for you. So let's everyone come together and share this story as much as you can, and share Gabby's picture and her missing flyer, and let's help bring Gabby home safe to her parents. I want to thank everybody for watching, as always, and please be respectful in the comments. I mean, this is a real family going through a real traumatic situation, and they just want to find their daughter. I want to say thank you to co.ag for providing the background music, as always, and thank you for everyone that brought this information to my case in the comment section, and please continue to do so. I have people that work in different SAR groups that send me information, but I really need information from you guys too. It really helps to get the word out fast and spread this news so that we have better chances of actually finding these people safe and bringing them home to their loved ones. I will see everybody in the next one. Take care.